iOS 14 beta was recently launched, and I'm going to let you know some of my favorite features of it, so let's get right into it. So to add a widget onto your home screen, all you need to do is go into jiggle mode. You can do that just by pressing and holding in some empty space. You don't need to hold an icon anymore. Then press the plus icon at the top left. And then it suggests a few first-party widgets, which are the only widgets you have right now on the beta, but hopefully we'll get some third-party support closer to iOS 14's official launch. If you want to add a widget, just go ahead and hold it and drag. Now this is the Smart Stack widget, which automatically changes throughout the day to best suit your needs. So for example, right now it's just showing me the current weather, and you can change that, of course, just by scrolling through all of it, but throughout the day it will automatically change, so there's no need to scroll through your Smart Stack widget. And of course, you can add multiple widgets to the same home screen. So if you don't like any of the suggested ones, you can of course scroll all the way down and select any of these first-party apps. You can even have a battery widget, so just by clicking on that, it lets you choose the size of the widget. And say you want the small one, just go ahead and click Add Widget, and you can move that around if you'd like. So currently it's telling me the battery status of my iPhone, my Apple Watch, and my AirPods. And if you have your AirPods case open, it'll also display the AirPods case charge as well. Widgets on iOS home screen is a really important feature, I think, and it's going to be really helpful to a lot of people, especially this battery widget, so you don't need to go ahead and open Control Center every time you want to see your iPhone's battery. This new circle interface for the battery widget is much more easy to understand than the small battery icon in the iPhone 10s and above. So widgets are, of course, a really useful feature. So let's go ahead and move on to the next feature. The next feature I'd like to highlight is the compact UI for both phone calls and Siri. So previously with Siri, it would take up your entire screen, have the little microphone icon at the bottom, and then your actual text at the top. And now Siri takes up a smaller portion of the screen, so let's go ahead and check it out. Hey Siri, what's the weather like?
It's currently partly cloudy and 82 degrees. Temperatures are heading down from 82 degrees to 64 tonight.
So as you see, there's a very small Siri icon at the bottom, and your weather or other questions are just displayed as a notification. If you just ask a small question to Siri, such as, "Hey Siri, what's up?"
I'm helping people who are asking, "Hey Siri, where can I learn more about racial equality?"
For those type of responses, it's just a small little window down there at the bottom of the screen. And to exit, you can just press the screen behind it, or just like a few seconds later, Siri automatically disappears. And a very similar thing happens for phone calls as well. So when you were using your iPhone and when a phone call appeared, it would take up your entire screen and just give you the accept and decline buttons at the bottom. Now it just displays as a notification when someone calls. So for example, and it only takes up a small amount of space at the top. And up there, you also have the option to decline the call or even accept it. Now, of course, that compact UI for the phone calls is only when your phone is turned on. So when your phone is turned off and you receive a call, it's of course going to take up the entire screen. So my phone is turned off, and it takes up the entire screen right now. One of my favorite features is the all-new app library, so you no longer have to scroll through all your home pages just to find an app. You can now access the app library from the last page of your home screen, and all your apps over there are automatically organized into these folders, and you can easily access an app you're looking for. And in case you can't find an app just by looking at these icons, say you want to open up Netflix, just search up Netflix, and it automatically pops up on the list. Now you can even block home screens. So for example, you don't want this part of your home screen to show up, just go into jiggle mode, and then press on the little dots at the bottom, and then uncheck this home screen. And then when you click done, that page is no longer there. And in place of it, you can access the app library. This is very similar to the app drawer we've had in Android for years, but is a very nice touch to see on iOS. Another great feature with iOS 14 is located within iMessage. You can now have up to 9 conversations pinned at the top of your screen, so you no longer have to keep scrolling down looking for the person you're trying to chat with. So all you have to do to pin a conversation is to 3D touch or haptic touch and pin that contact or chat onto the top of your screen. And to unpin them, just 3D touch on that image and then unpin. There's also a new feature called back tap in the accessibility options, and with that you can map a double tap or a triple tap on the back of your phone to do pretty much anything. So right now I have a double tap set to turn the lights off in my room. So 1, 2. And the lights in my room just turned off. And I currently have a triple tap to take a screenshot. So 1, 2, 3. Boom. And this back tap feature only works on iPhone 10 and above. And to change what the back tap actions do, just go into Settings, Accessibility, then into Touch, and then scroll all the way down into back tap. So over here you can change what each of the taps do. So for smart light controls, just make sure it works with Siri shortcuts or Apple HomeKit. And of course there's some first-party shortcuts such as activating Notification Center, your Control Center, stuff like that. There's also other accessibility options or even other shortcuts. So you can even map a double tap to open up the Google Assistant like this. So funny enough, you can even open up Google Assistant with a native gesture. iOS 14 brings support for picture-in-picture. This feature's been on iPads since 2015, but they finally brought that over to iPhones now. So currently the YouTube app does not support picture-in-picture, but you can use youtube.com on Safari or your default web browser. Go ahead and launch a video, and once you make it full screen, it gives you an option right there to add a picture-in-picture. So then if you go to the home screen, it's still playing up there, and you can, of course, resize it or even drag it into the corner. If the audio is playing, the audio will still be continuing to play even when it's in the background. But just scrolling, you can start watching it again. And you can rewind and fast forward by 15 seconds. And of course pause, or you can just cancel it out altogether. So that's pretty much it for my favorite features on the iOS 14 beta so far. If I have any others, I'll definitely let you know in my upcoming videos. And stay tuned for more iOS 14 beta coverage. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer them. So please subscribe, wear a mask, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.